All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So I had posted if you guys wanted to bring some supplies, you could. You're welcome to make this with me, or you can watch and then create later. So however you would like to do that. I know sometimes I like to watch and see what I'm getting myself into first, and then I'll put it together afterwards. So totally up to you, okay? And I found this idea. This was a Mary Fish idea, and this is the card. It's a little different, but this is the card that she created. And I thought, what a cute way to just add your sentiment right there on your piece of Whisper White cardstock. Okay, and again, we're using up some of the Dino Roar DSP. Hi, April. Happy Friday. This is so cute. Welcome, baby. It would make a great birthday card. You could even use it as a masculine card if you know a guy that likes dinosaurs, okay? Another great way that we can use up our DSP, I know some of you do this, but you can also put it on the flap of your envelope. So how fun is it when you get a card and the flap of your envelope also coordinates with the card that you're giving them? Happy Friday, Diane. So here's another one, and I'm going to show you the set that I'm using too in just a second. Sending Love. So this one would be perfect, especially in our time right now. Hi, Chuck. Happy Friday. Sending Love, so it could be a birthday card, just a thinking of you card, or a great anniversary card too. So there's that one. And then Happy Bride. So that we all hope that she's happy. That's what our hopes are. So, and so this is another one. I just used some of the designer series paper, cut the little circle in, and then put my little letters in there. Okay, so let me show you what I'm using today. So I told you guys to bring a sentiment along because I'm assuming, which you know what they say about that, but I did assume that not everybody has this set. So when we make this, or when you make this, you can go ahead and put your sentiment right here that would fit inside of the circle, or you could just simply add a circle right on top of there. So there's several ways that we can do this. So the set that I am using is called Well Said. And I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it is in your annual catalog, and it is on page 47. And so it has the words, and then it's a two-piecer, and then it also has the great sentiments that go inside for you to complete your card, okay? And then the best thing, let me make sure these aren't gonna all flip out, it also has dies. So that's where I got my words from, the bride, the miss you, the happy, the baby. So there are lots of dies that also coordinate with that as well. And the dies are found in the back of the catalog on page 197. Okay, so we're going to use Well Said today. But again, you guys, if you have your sentiment, you can use your sentiment to make yours. Okay, so let me set these aside. And the DSP that I chose to use today is called the Mosaic Mood Designer Series paper. And that one is in our current catalog as well. And it has a lot of great colors. It has some great embossed elements in it too. So you can, it's on clearance because it's gonna be going away with the catalog. But one of the great things I love about our designer series paper is they tell you what colors are in the designer series paper. So you can pull from your arsenal of colored card stacks, and you know exactly what you need to use, what colors you need to use. So that's kind of a little cheat sheet that I really appreciate that Stampin' Up! Gives us. So with this card, I told you to bring a colored card stack. Yay, Carolyn, you made it. Happy Friday. So I went to my little color list, and I chose soft suede. Then I have my piece of Whisper White, and which is 4 by 5 1/4, just in case you guys didn't get the dimensions that I listed this morning. And then my designer series paper, which is 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, so I'm gonna start out, I'm gonna put these other two pieces aside, and I'm gonna start out with my circle punch, okay? The one that I find that works best is the 2 1/4. I don't want you to see my shadow, I'm gonna do it over here. The 2 1/4, but if you have a 2 or a 2 1/2, they work fine too, okay? So I like to use mine. You just, if you haven't used ours, they store very nicely, and you just push on the bottom and they open up. And I'm gonna go ahead and slide my cardstock, my designer series paper, okay? But I'm not gonna cut out a whole circle. We're gonna leave a little bit of the circle there, okay? And there's really no rhyme or reason. You kind of can leave maybe like a 1/2 inch on the bottom, but if you wanna make it higher, whatever makes you happy, or if there's a certain thing on the cardstock or the designer series paper you want to make sure you don't punch out, and that's what it's going to look like, okay? Hey Jill, hey Kathy, thanks for stopping by. So then we're going to take this piece of designer series paper and we are going to go ahead and attach it. And you'll see the beautiful greenery on the other side, so this would make another great card too. The one thing I will tell you, depending on what adhesive you use, is make sure you get the little, kind of the little tips there. So, because you want to make sure that they go down flat. Okay, I might be using, you may think I'm using an excessive amount, but you know what? I know a girl, she gives a great discount, so I can get some more where that came from. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and place that down right on top of my Whisper White piece of paper. And then that is simply going to go on to our, oh my goodness, our soft suede cardstock, okay? So I didn't tell you guys to bring any embellishments. If you want to embellish this, you know I am an embellisher by heart, but you can put a little piece of ribbon, and I did a faux bow. You guys all know about my faux bows. So you're gonna take a little piece of ribbon and just tuck behind this before you would put it onto your Whisper White. And then I tied a little bow. Here, let me show, I'll show you guys. I have some ribbon here. Okay, this is not mossy, mint macaron. So what I would do is I would just kind of measure. So that is, it's like 8 inches. You need an 8-inch little strip, okay? So if you want to add this when you're putting your card together, you can do that. And it's just going to tuck behind. And then you need a bow. So that's how you do a faux, okay? So a faux does not wrap all the way around, and it actually saves you some ribbon. And I think it makes it a little bit easier for you to tie a bow. So then I would just tie my little bow there on the end. That's how I like to tie my bow, so it's ready to go when I'm ready for it. And then I can just trim it. And then what would I use to put on this on with other than a glue dot? And they were floating around here somewhere. Here we are. Okay, so I'm going to use my glue dot for this. And what I would do is I would put this right on top. You don't want to touch your glue dots, okay? They're very sensitive. And so you can just leave that there, honestly, and then when you're ready for it, you can pull it right off. But you don't want to touch them because sometimes we have natural oils. I'm not saying that we're dirty because we've all been washing our hands excessively, so I know you guys aren't dirty. But you don't want to touch them because we have oils, natural oils in our fingers, and it kind of takes the sticky away. So we don't want them to be non-sticky, okay? So that's how the glue dots work, and they are awesome. And if you are a ribbon lover like me, you might want to add some of those to your shopping cart sometime. That was kind of rude. My little ribbon just hopped right off there. But yep, if you press down, and then you're gonna peel it right off. Okay, so next I have Miss, or I have You, which I could put in this little circle here. So I decided to do the U, and then I stamped the Miss, okay? So I'm gonna show you another little trick. I thought this was really neat. So we have dies. Hi Linda, thanks for joining me. Better late than never, right? We have the stitched rectangle dies. Okay, And I'm not gonna cut them out. Like I told you, when I cut things out, it shakes the entire table and looks like a little Stampin' earthquake is happening. So this is the size of the rectangle die. But I just needed a tiny one, a really, really tiny one. So what I did is I stamped it on my rectangle. Then I came back and where I stamped, I put my rectangle right on top of there because the cutting piece is underneath, and I ran it through my die cutting machine, but just till I got this point. And you'll be able to feel it because you feel that little, like it kind of feels like you're going over a little hill. And then it will cut this tiny little piece. And I did this for all of them. So you see the mist there. I did it for the happy, on the happy bride. I did it on the sending for the sending love. And I also did it on the welcome for the baby. Because if you would use this, I mean, this is enormous. I mean, not that it doesn't look lovely, but I didn't like it. So I wanted to trim it. So that's how I did it. And that, you know, a great quick tip that you can make all different sizes of rectangles too. Okay. All right. That was my little side note. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to attach my U. Okay. Let me put this aside. And what I'm going to use with this is our Tombow, and it's a multi-purpose glue. And we're all going to say a little Stampin' prayer that it's going to cooperate on screen. Sometimes it gets a little nervous and does some weird things. So might be operator error. We'll go with that. Okay. And I'm just going to put little dots on here. Hopefully you guys can see. You don't need a lot because it is super sticky and it will do its job. I promise. Okay, so I'm going to turn this over and I am going to put this right on the front of my card here. The U. Okay. And the nice thing about Tombow too is you can reposition it a little bit so it doesn't stick right away. So if your U is askew, you can always turn it the way you need it to go. Okay, so I have the U, and then I'm going to come back with the Miss. I covered it up. I almost didn't see it. And of course, I'm going to use dimensionals for this because, you know, I probably should nickname myself Dori Dimensional because I love dimensionals. I love to be able to give things a little extra oomph that they need. So I'm going to add the little Miss right there. So we have Miss You, okay? And then, like I said, you guys know I love to embellish. So here we go. I thought we needed a little bit of bling. So these are some pearls that I had, and I've actually colored them with, hi Melissa, happy Friday, thanks for joining me, with our Stampin' Blends. So I made some mint macaron pearls here, and I am going to take them and I'm going to put them down at the bottom because they coordinate perfectly with, you can also use your take your pick tool to do this as well, scissors or take your pick tool. So I added my little embellishment there at the bottom, okay? So last but not least for this, I am going to put dimensionals on the back of my cardstock. This is a repurposed piece of cardstock, so you'll notice that we have, you can use it, our COVID-19 is on the back of it, but that's okay. Nobody will know except for all the people that are watching this video, right? So I'm going to peel those off, and then I'm going to put it on the front of my card, my soft suede, just like that. Okay. So there's the Miss You. And with this one, if you wanted, you could probably do both of them on the front, but then you would miss that little added bonus there. So here it is without ribbon, okay? But you can see, hi Nancy, happy Friday. You can see how much it pops when you add the extra embellishments to it. Okay, so there again is the welcome baby. Bring back the sending love. Okay, and these are some of our enamel dots. And then we also have the happy bride. And those, you know, with our little gems on the bottom and happy and some. So this is a great way for you to use your designer series paper. So I would love to see what you guys create. Oh, and also, yes, we can't forget our envelope too. So we want to make sure that we're using up our DSP on our envelope as well, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this little segment of Facebook Friday. Thank you for joining me. If there are any products that you need, you can always visit dorischneider.stampinup.net. And if you have any questions, let me know. And like I said, I would love to see what you guys make. So please share. I get so excited when you guys send me cards and everything like that, or send me pictures of cards that you've made from things that I've created on my videos.